Welcome back to Skidmore Family Farm. As you can see, we've been working on the creek crossing and the drive on the other side of the creek that goes up to the road. I've got the top portion, which is more or less just an apron I gotta build up, take a bunch of fill dirt and pile it up and then grade it out. But the rest of the way down up to right here is pretty much done. I don't know, people that have been watching remember how narrow, and it was basically a really sharp turn right here where it crossed the creek. And I've taken out all these trees over here, piled them up to hold any runoff, as far as like the ground washing out. It'll catch it at the bottom, and by the time that rots out, all that ground will have settled and be compacted down. I mean, you could drive a passenger car on it right now up until this point. If you remember, I took the minivan down it before, but the steepness or the grade is consistent all the way up until you get to, like I said, almost the top. And that's where we gotta fill it in and grade it out so the grade stays the same and it's not an abrupt incline at the very end. We'll have to take quite a bit of dirt off the side and fill it up, pull it up to the road, and just keep filling it in. That's what I did here. You can see that was all like topsoil. And now I dug it back to the sandstone and just kind of angled it down, and it's all stone under there. That the only soil's up at the top, and if it was going to fall, it would have fell before, or if it's going to fall, it's going to fall. There's not much I can do about that. It was already like that, but it kind of tapers back towards the top and the bottom. But you can see right in here, I've cut all that out. You used to have to drive around that, or it got really narrow. There was like 3 bends or curves in it, and I've eliminated it to just 2 basically. One's real gradual and there in the middle, and this one here, which is pretty gradual too. There was almost like an S-curve in the middle of it, and you lost momentum because of the turns, and you could not build up any kind of momentum because you always had to slow down. And then the steepness of it, by the time you slowed down, if you didn't have 4-wheel drive, you were pretty much just sitting there spinning tires or rolling backwards for the most part. But you can see here, I dug all that out too. That tree's just hanging on. I think I'll leave it though. I kind of like it hanging like that. Part of the roots that you see broken off right there, there was a tree in front of that. That long root sticking out is from that tree that's still there, but most of the roots are up on the top ledge going into the side of the hill. And like I said, if it's going to fall, it's going to fall. I mean, I really didn't change too much of it. The soil that was below it really wasn't doing anything. I hit it with the bucket. I didn't even have to dig it out. It just fell. So, you two stop. There's the 2 beasts. Rosie's constantly roughhousing Veely. But Veely's kind of liking it, I think. He enjoys the attention. And he says, "Hi guys, how you doing?" But Veely's been very well mannered for the most part. He's only had a couple accidents, and he's pretty much almost potty trained, and he lived in a barn when we got him, so he's leash trained fairly well. He's a good listener for a puppy. He has his moments, but he still does pretty good for being 4 months old, 4.5 months old. But I gotta keep digging this out over here and put the dirt over here and pushing it down. And then this culvert pipe, the big culvert pipe, will go in the creek and we'll push dirt up to it and then cover it in rock. But that's what's happening on Skidmore Family Farm. Just been working on this road before we get rid of the excavator. It's gone in just a little over a week. I think we got 8 or 9 days. So I got to really put some hours on it to make up for the hours that we spent working on the fence. I hated to take time out of the fence, but this is more important. The cost to rent that was pretty hefty, but it would have cost me about $20,000 to pay somebody to do this. So I did it for probably 75% less than that. Close to it, probably 60% by the time you had fuel and all the other things that go into it. But I also got a road, ponds. I'm gonna dig the septic tank out, and if I get to it, I'll try and start digging the water line. Oh, and I set the electric post with it, so didn't have to pay anybody to do that. But that's gonna wrap up our video. I'll do an update on the road when we get it closer to being done. Maybe when we go to put the culvert pipe in, I'll set up the tripod and stuff. I haven't had the time to do videos and stop and do different shots and all that. I'm kind of pressed for time right now with the rental of the equipment and just everything else. But if you haven't subscribed to Skidmore Family Farm, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up to like our videos and hit the notification bell to get all our latest videos and notifications. Thanks and have a great day.